What's up, friends? We're back here, and today we're going to be replacing the headliner on the Grand National. As you can see, it's been fully polished up, so watch my other videos to see how we restored this paint and how well it came out from what it was. As you can see, we have our headliner right here on the headliner stand, aka GTR wing. And I ordered this off I'll put the link for the website down below. I think I paid like $350 or $400 shipped for it to replace the one on the car, which is really, really bad. You'll see that here in a minute. Initial thoughts, I mean, the color is nice. I ordered black versus to replace the gray in there. It's got my map light cut out, which I actually had to call the company and replace because I ordered it for the dome light, not the map light. I didn't know what the difference was, and when I found out, luckily they were friendly about switching that out for me. Initial quality thoughts, I mean, it's not peeling up from I guess it's peeling up a little bit from here. I mean, I don't know how much goes behind the headliner. I guess we'll compare it to when we take off this factory one. But I mean, as long as it gets the job done right, obviously it's gonna be better than what's in the car right now. And it was a direct replacement kind of part, you know, R&R part. So yeah, let's get right to it. Let's take the old one off. It should just be a few screws, a few clips. Then we're gonna cut this one open for the dome light to go back in, or the map light. One thing I did want to note, this actually came up rolled up in a box. So when you get it, you have to make sure that within 24 hours you unpackage it and leave it out in the sun for 24 hours to kind of open up and take shape, which we did. And without further ado, let's get right into it. And I'm not even going to stop this video, let's go right into it. So the liner in the car, as you can see, is factory, really common on these G bodies and you know, any old car for that matter. It's droopy and it's foamy everywhere. And when I was driving, the foam was hitting me in the face and it was not fun. I only driven this car once so far. And as far as the map light goes, I thought this was just a dome light because it was right in the middle, right? But the reason this is a map light is you have that switch and that switch. So that will give, you know, the passenger or the driver extra light to read a map. So essentially what we're gonna do here, we've got the coat hanger clip back there. We've got a few screws in the back. We've got the visor screws. I think there's 2 or 3 screws holding the visor in place. And then we're gonna drop this dome light, which I believe I just take this cover off. There's a few screws holding that in place. And this headliner should just come right out. I got some natural light coming in here, which is nice. Figured I would just record like this while I'm doing the work. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I should put some safety glasses on, but we'll see. Go ahead and start to take the visors off. And I saw Legit Street Cars. It's actually a guy who's local here that is a big YouTuber, I guess. I didn't even know about him until a bunch of my friends were like, yo, he has a Grand National too. And I was checking out his build. He actually did the same, I don't know if it was the same brand, but he did the same thing as me. He went black with the headliner. And then he was kind of like, man, the black looks amazing because you can see the interior is black and gray. But he didn't like the fact that these were still gray. So I might actually redo mine, depending on what I think of once I have it up together and how it looks for me. He didn't want to necessarily do it because he liked the originality of, that's 3. So what am I missing here? There you go, it just twists off. It's like a little spring on there. I think he had some kind of sticker on his. Me, I could just easily redo it. It looks pretty straightforward to redo. Nothing too fancy about that. But yeah, let's see once we get it done how it's gonna look with the gray and the black. And like I said, I could just find someone to do it. Someone I know that's crafty. I don't have anyone necessarily off the top of my head, but I'm definitely gonna wear safety glasses once I take this one off because there's too much foam up there. And the new one doesn't look like it has as much foam, but what am I gonna do? It's not like you lay down the headliner, right? As long as it looks good. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that falling, and I'm free. Free foaming. Oh, free falling. Alright. Number 3. Don't fall. Alright, then it should just twist out. There you go. Number 2. And it looks like I gotta probably take that off too. These little side pieces on the A-pillars. If I was smart, I would use a drill for this, but work harder, not smarter. Getting a little workout in. No AC, sweating. And I was actually thinking about getting replacement ones for this, for gauge pods. Because obviously I'm not a big fan of gauge pods that are not functional, but this car, because it doesn't have any like way to check your boost and check a bunch of stuff, I thought it'd be pretty functional having some gauge pods in here. So like I said, there's 2 screws here, and this is attached to the top here some weird way. I don't see any screws. Does it slide out? Yep, it's just clipped in there. So I didn't crack the windshield, did I? I think this windshield was already cracked. Boom, there you go. So this is what we're working with. You got 1 and 2 clips holding it in place. Headliner is already slowly starting to come off. Whoa, this is fun. I'm glad I opted in for the safety glasses. It's getting really itchy. This is not a clean job. There you go. So what I'm doing is I'm like pushing that way with my thumbs. So I'm pushing that way and it's kind of just coming off. Oh, oh God, that's horrible. So it's just like clipped on. Here, I'm just put my camera here. Right over here, we got these little clips. Use a flashlight, holding the thing in place. So you saw what I did. I put pressure that way, kind of took that thing off, and now, yeah, this thing's just, the headliner's just kind of resting on these. If I could twist them or unscrew, there's a screw there. If I really wanted to unscrew it, I could. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll unscrew one. There's only 3 of them. And then I'm gonna go in the back and do that one now. Wish me luck, all. I think I'm gonna do this off camera because, oh my God. You've got this guy, which is what you're working with. So, got to work yourself around this clip here. Sideways clip. Honestly, I don't even know how this is in on there, guys. To be completely honest with you. I believe it just, when it's up there, it goes, well, let's see how this clip was. So it's like this, and I guess it just rests inside the lip like that. That's kind of what you're working with. So you gotta push this way to unclip it, and it kind of comes off. Very stupid design, but hey, it's off. A few screws on the side here, so let's go ahead and work on those next. 1, 2, and then there's 3 and 4. Work on your own car, they said. It'll be fun, they said. I got everything all over me, and I'm sweating, and I just took a shower, but oh, we got the seatbelt cover. That looks like a Torx screw, like a T50 or something. Oh, even with safety glasses on, you see it? Oh, that hurts. Man, my other ones have foam on them. I should have used the foam ones. Whew. Stupid foam, man. It's probably not helping that I'm rubbing it with more foam. But is it out? Anyways, we're manipulating it. Someone definitely stripped this out before, so I was using 2 hands to kind of put pressure and turn. It's kind of a long screw. There you go. Looks like I finally got it. What happened was my ratchet hit the top. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's fun. Oh, hey. So we got these clips holding it in place. Let me put my safety glasses back on. What am I doing? Let's push them in all the way. There you go. Well, now I got them all sweaty, but good enough. I'll just look up. So we got 1, 2, 3 on the other side. Let's see. Let's just work on this side first and see what happens. 0.5. I got all this side off. I think all I have left is the dome light, and I think it should just slide out. Let's see what I'm working with here with the dome light. Just get that off. Cover. Oh, just squeeze it right out. And there's 2 screws holding that in place. It's very difficult. It's very hot. Not difficult because it's like a what is it called? Luminescence bulb? I forgot. There you go. That fell. Don't burn my. Put it up here. And hopefully the wrench doesn't get too hot. And obviously it won't. The roof. Okay, okay. I think I just gotta take a flathead and pry these two clips out. And then this will drop down and I can disconnect the wiring and we'll be good. So kind of like what I said, bigger screwdriver tips the better, but I just kind of went on each side and started prying down. Now I'm just gonna take a plier and just grab them with the plier and slide them all the way down and this should come off. So I got a good grip on it because it wasn't just going in fairly. It honestly might be one of those SAE sizes because this car is an 87, but either way the T50 worked with the hammer. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? There you go. And then this is the wire I was talking about. Why this one had quick disconnect and this one didn't. Who knows? But now it's gonna come off to the side. It's gonna drop down the. Okay. Oh, that broke a little bit. It's okay. There you go. Okay, so the dome light could actually probably come right up. Yep. It is like duct tape up there. Professional wiring job. The wiring was just like masking taped up there. So professional. I hope that was aftermarket, not from the factory. Because if that's from the factory, I don't know. But would you look at that? Did it, guys. And just a little bit missing. It's not even dirt, it's like sticky and just literally just like, oh my God. It's to cut out. Obviously a crack in a few spots, taking it off. I shouldn't have a problem putting the new one in, because if the new one came folded up, right, that means that I should be able to fold it in. So I thought my dirty floor would be a perfect spot to compare the two. So yeah, you can see the hump right there, matches up with the hump right there. As far as quality goes, I mean, this looks like it's a lot more rugged. This is like a styrofoam almost. You can see it right here. This is styrofoam. This feels more like a cardboard or plastic. So definitely it's gonna be more rugged. Looks like there's a lot more foam, but obviously that doesn't matter, right? Again, it's not like you're sleeping on the freaking headliner. So as long as it stays together, which I'm hoping this plastic, you know, doesn't take or takes heat pretty well. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I think the only thing I have to do at this point is you see the two holes for the pins on the dome light or the map light. I've got to make those two holes on that end with our handy dandy Hypertef measuring tape. We're going to go ahead and measure these holes. 28 by 28 inches, 20 3/4, and 25. Order is right here. It's approximately right there. It looks like I've got to make my holes dependent on the measurements I took from the old one. Center to the end is about 29-ish, right about there. And then center to this one is about 28.5. So if I go 29, yeah, I mean, I think I have my proximity holes lined up. I'm gonna drill those in, and let's put this bad boy in. Well, I went to the fabric anyway, so, oh well. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so as far as this factory wiring goes, just mass taped up there. Gonna kind of, it's still kind of sticky-ish. I think I'm just gonna leave it kind of hanging for now. As long as I get the stuff in there, I don't think it's a big deal. Whoa, I think my window glitched. There you go. Sweep it back in. Hey, Let me get on the other side now. There you go. That's pretty easy. Then swing your partner around and round. Oh, look at that. That was really easy. Let's move the camera back here. That was very easy to go in. Now that we're in, like I said, I'm gonna get the dome light through. The switch is facing forward. The trusty rusty blade. Flip out, flip up. That through. So that's through. So my plan is to now, because I didn't take this side fully off, my plan is to tuck this side in first, then kind of put everything back in the inside. So I'm gonna sit down here, get this up, over. All right, guys, a lot of that happened off of camera, but essentially what I did first was I got those pins lined up. I had to drill the hole a little bit extra, a few more holes to get it lined up perfectly. Then I unscrewed the other side as well. There's no way in hell you can get it on without unscrewing these all the way. So all of them are unscrewed. Then you can see I just clipped it all up. So now it's all secured in place. And we're just gonna go over reverse these steps. I'm gonna pretty much do this off the camera and show you the end result when I'm done, because it's getting really late and I wanna just get this done because this is a mess. And yeah. Also, be careful. You can see my headliner is kind of messed up. I can't really see on the camera. It was because a bunch of foam stuff was on top of this seat and it rubbed on. So now I gotta have my detailer fix that. But just be careful. Make sure your car is clean before trying to put the headliner back in. All right, all. This is what we have. It's finally in. I'm sorry I didn't record too much of it. I needed both my hands. I actually had to have help from a second person as well, because putting it in was a little bit more difficult than I would thought. I would say removing it is like a 2.5 out of 10. It's not that difficult removing it. Putting it back in was more closer to like a 4.5 out of 10, with 10 being like the hardest job you could ever think of, doing like a engine rebuild on a Porsche or something like that. So 4.5, just because it wasn't really any special tools. It was mainly just fitment. And I'm gonna give you a few tips of advice. I know I didn't show it to you, but my first tip of advice would be with those two pins on the dome light. What I did when I was by myself was, you can see all my fingerprints trying to hold the headliner up. I just, I tried using the pin. I put the dome light through the pins and kind of had the pin hold the headliner up from the center to kind of help me with support. So that's my first piece of advice. I also would have the drill here. I did have the drill here just to make sure if the pins, you didn't get the pinholes drilled perfectly outside, you can make new holes. I made 2 new holes to make the pin line up perfectly, put the dome light on. And then my second piece of advice would be for the clips. Remember how they had the 3 holding clips right over here? I would take all of them off, right? And then I would put those in second. And once I have the holding clips in, then you can start putting all the rest of your trim pieces in. My biggest struggle, and you can see the thing that's not 100% yet, is with the sun visors. You can see this, I only have 2 screws in. Third one's missing here. Same thing on this side. Something just, I don't know if I mixed up passenger and driver, or I just didn't put these in correctly, because from my understanding, they're the same exact part. At least they look like the same exact part. And unfortunately, I didn't take a video of it before I took it apart. So I just had a problem with this, but I do know the solution. When you have the headliner off, all right, you're gonna have 3 pilot holes on the headliner. Drill them out. Just do yourself a favor, drill them out through the carpet so you know exactly where these have to go. It'll make your life much easier. We had to take these apart like 7 times because we didn't know where the screws went. And I didn't want to take the whole headliner out, so to avoid that, that's kind of what we did. So I'll probably eventually take the headliner off just to fix that. I just didn't want to do that tonight. It's almost it's past 3 a.m. I want to get this car done. That was the main struggles I had. It was just, you know, the pin holes and then these visor holes. But aside from that, I mean, the visors are in the best condition. Legit street cars. He said he didn't really know what to think of with the gray and the black. I personally like the gray and the black. I think it really goes well with the theme of the interior because everything else is gray and black. So I think it looks very nice. But let me know your thoughts. Would you keep the gray headliner with the gray visors, or would you do black headliner with the gray visors, or would you do gray and black, or what would you do? I personally like the fact that I switched the headliner to black. I think it looks much better in the interior. No regrets at all. I think it looks great. I am going to eventually get these redone. Will I keep them gray or go black? I don't know. Put it in the comments. Give me some ideas. But But aside from that, the job is well done. All the trims pieces are back in. I can finally see out the back of the window. And when I'm sitting in the car, I don't have the annoying headliner hitting my spiky hair. I mean, I'm 6'1", so I'm not the shortest, not the tallest, but the spiky hair, it was so annoying driving. And now I really had that clearance, and it's really nice, really good feel. Overall now, I would rate my interior probably like 8.8 out of 10. 10 would be like a perfect brand new show condition car. Obviously this thing is in maybe like a 8.6. Between 8.6 and 8.8, I would say it's 86 to 88% done. A few of the flaws, these little elbow marks, you know, over time. Obviously the car's from 87. You know, this can get cleaned out. Once it gets detailed, I'll probably say it's going to be an 8.9. Right now I'll give it an 8.6. You know, just a little detail from the detail world will help me rate this car a little higher. The biggest, I think, thing with the interior that I wouldn't personally fix is on this speaker cover. You have this little crack from, I don't know how that happened, to be honest, but I think you could replace this piece, but I wouldn't go that far. You know, I mean, the car is from 87. It's a one-owner car, but, you know, it's got almost 70,000 miles on it. I think 8.6 is a very fair rating for the interior because aside from that, it's really clean. It's so weird. I'm like PTSD still from like looking and seeing like a falling headliner. This is really nice seeing this, really refreshing. I can see out the back window again. Everything's looking good. So yeah, aside from that, the car again came out great. You can see the paint, it's beautiful. You saw the befores and afters beforehand. So shout out to the detail world for really hooking me up with this car, doing the full paint correction, polishing, no wet sanding, but it is still need ceramic coating. So once it's ceramic coated, it's pretty much ready to go. Keeping the car for the summer anyway. So old headliner, it did have a little bit more padding, definitely, but again, you're not laying down on the headliner, right? The new headliner does not have as much padding. I don't really care as long as it's durable. I'm happy. And sorry, one more piece of tip. You see that? That's the sticky stuff from the old headliner. The reason it got on top was I should have cleaned the seats before putting the new headliner in, but when I went to put the new headliner in, it scraped all the sticky stuff from the top of the headrest, and that's why it's there. But that's the detail world will take care of that. I mainly just pretty much just airbrushed all the other stuff out of there. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Hope that helps you if you gotta replace your headliner. I also thought it'd be really cool to document it. Now with the car fully paint corrected, new headliner in place, it really just gives that fresh look for the car, and I'm ready to drive this thing around. It looks amazing. I took it around the block. It looks amazing while driving up and down the street. Really has that nostalgic vibe, that sinister vibe to it. The black car, you know, from the 80s. It just looks so awesome. Thank you for watching all. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content. And I'm not going to talk anymore. Good headliner. The link to the headliner will be in my description below. The price and everything. Overall, the quality of the headliner, 8 out of 10. Like an 8.5 out of 10. Only thing I wish was, you know, the holes drilled out for the pins would have been really nice, and the holes drilled out for the little things to make it a full direct bolt on. But, you know, aside from that, it's good quality. It went right in there. It looks great. I think 8.5 is a really fair rating for value, what I paid for it, and what it replaced. And just see y'all in the next video. Until next time, peace.